What's up, everyone? It's Tyler here. I'm with the Jeremy Brodeur of the AHL, all over the place, 3-on-3 league. Um, Jeremy, thank you for coming on.
No, thanks you very much for having me. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure.
of course. So basically, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna ask him a bunch of questions, like an interview style. Learn more about him, his love for the game, how he got into the game, and stuff like that. So let's do it. Question number one. When did you figure out that you wanted to become a goaltender? It's a very tough position. People say you're psycho for wanting to jump in front of 80, 100 mile per hour slap shots. When did you when did you decide that?
Yeah, so no, obviously I got into hockey at a very young age, 3 or 4 years old. Started playing travel hockey at around 7 or 8 years old. I forget how the age groups go, but I played out as a player up until I was like 9 or 10, and I think I had a whole season I got like 0 goals, 1 assist, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm playing goalie.
Yeah,
But no, ever since I became a goalie, I loved it. My older brother also played goalie, so I always wanted to be like him. So that's kind of how I got into being a goaltender.
awesome. A lot of kids, dream of taking the next step, playing in the NHL. I feel like that's every kid's dream. When did you actually realize, like, all right, this isn't really a dream. Like, I could actually I could turn it up to the next level.
Yeah, I would say when I went to high school, growing up in Jersey, like hockey's big around here, but it's not crazy. But I made a decision to go to boarding school out in Minnesota, which you got there and it was a boarding school where everyone was there just to play hockey. So you kind of got the feeling that you were around good talent and you wanted to perform at your best, and that's kind of when things kind of flipped the switch a little bit. I would say like that's kind of when I first started taking hockey seriously, and then after that would be when I went to a major junior in the Ontario Hockey League.
Gotcha. So what was the process like, trying to get into that boarding school? Like, was it a tryout? Like, how did you ultimately like decide, like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do? And did you have to talk to the coaches, stuff like that?
Yeah, so how it works is like they bring you in for a tryout, obviously with your application and everything. Like you have to have, whatever, good enough grades to get in, and even if whenever your application gets processed and like you get accepted, like you're not guaranteed a spot on any hockey team there. Like you have tryouts once you get to the school. Like you're guaranteed to be on a team, just not the good one always. So like for example, my first year I didn't make the team I wanted to make, and then I progressed forward, and later on in my years in high school I made it onto a better team and ended up winning nationals there.
Awesome. Building off what you just said, you didn't make the team. How you didn't get discouraged at all? Nothing, not a thought of, all right, maybe this isn't for me. You just kept pushing. How did that work?
No, yeah, I mean, it was just like the way I looked at it was, I'm at a school with, an elite group of hockey players. So, this year they didn't want me to be on, the higher tier team. We'll just work hard and hopefully next year we'll get there. So, yeah, that's kind of the way I went about it. I didn't really get too discouraged about it. Still had a great year, had a lot of fun, won a ton of hockey games, and just move forward.
Awesome. Tying this, what I just asked in the next question, goalies are told short-term memory loss, next goal, next shot, doesn't matter. After obviously coming back from that adversity of not making the team, and growing up in hockey in general, what is one piece of advice that will always stick with you, whether it's from your dad, your brother, any goalie coach you've ever had? What's something that's going to stick with you even in the next level?
I mean, I have a pretty like easy, I would say I have a pretty easygoing mentality as a goalie. Like I like to keep it loose and have fun. So, like you play hockey, like goals are gonna go in. If goals didn't go in, like hockey wouldn't be a sport. So,
Yeah.
it's a very simple part of the game to, just, you know, like you said, short term memory. Like the biggest piece of advice I got just from my father, obviously many people say it, but it's, you gotta stop the next puck. So you let one in and you just gotta forget about it and make sure that the one after doesn't go in, because
Yeah.
it's important as the last one. So
Okay. The trapezoids behind the goal.
yeah.
Marty made that not a thing. Can't stick handle. Are you more of a stick handling goalie? Does that kind of make you a little upset that you can't do that because of him?
I wouldn't say I'm upset. I mean, I always grew up with the trapezoid rule too. I'm sure he was more upset than I was when they
Yeah.
when they made the rule. But no, I mean, I consider myself a good stick handling goalie. I wouldn't say it's my best attribute, but I think I'm pretty good at it.
Okay.
I I like to pass the puck and help all my teammates in that way as well. So um, yeah, I mean, it's a little different. You kind of feel trapped behind the net, but I mean, it's something I've always been used to.
Awesome. Talk about how I'm assuming you went to the AHL or after the Ontario League or the juniors. How did you eventually work your way into the AHL?
Yeah. So after my 20-year-old year in Ontario, so that's kind of when you graduate and you're not eligible to play juniors anymore, and you can either go to school up in Canada or you can move on and try to play professional. And I decided that I wanted to give professional hockey a go. So started out. I mean, I've been to development camps in the NHL to try to catch some eyes of some people, not expecting to get a contract out of it, but just to gain more experience. And you know, in the end, I ended up signing a deal in the East Coast League. So my first year pro, I just was partnered up with another goalie out in Allen, Texas, which is just north of Dallas, which was the team called the Allen Americans in the ECHL. And then my first year, I started playing well, started playing a lot of games, and got a call when I said, "Hey, we want to get you up here to San Jose." So I got my first AHL call up for about 2 or 3 weeks up in San Jose, and that's just kind of how it went down. It was just like a slow process, probably 3 or 4 months of playing, and someone a spot opened up, and they needed someone to fill in for a bit, and that was kind of my first opening to the AHL.
Awesome. So after you were in the Shark system in San Jose, correct?
I mean, briefly, yes.
Okay. How did that open up a door to where'd you go to next after that? Did you go to New Jersey?
Well, a couple other places far in between. So actually, the year after, I signed back with the team in Allen, and then they ended up getting another goalie. I got traded to a team in Virginia Beach called the Norfolk Admirals. Finished the year out there. Then the year after, I actually went over to Europe. I played a year in Budapest, Hungary, and
Awesome.
then that was the year COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then the year after that was where a spot opened up in the Devils depth chart because one of their goalies had retired unexpectedly, and so I just kind of hung out to be a second or third goalie with their team, and ended up getting a few 3 or 4 games with the Binghamton Devils, which was their AHL team at the time.
How was it? What was the difference in playing in Budapest? Is there anything different about playing overseas,
Oh,
playing here?
yeah, so different. The hockey culture is completely different. I'd say, like, you play in the bigger rinks, the style of play is like slower, more passes.
Yeah.
Anytime he passed the puck or you think he was shooting, he wasn't. So it was tough to adjust in that sense. But living on Europe was an awesome experience. Getting to see some cool cities and do some different things you wouldn't normally do if you're in America. So I'm very grateful for that experience, and I would for sure go back to Europe at some point, I think, in my career.
Awesome. And you talk about making the jump from there to New Jersey. When that spot opened up for you, was there any more excitement than at any other team because like, you come back to your home state, your family could watch? Was that kind of a thought in your mind when you made that jump?
Yeah, it was actually very exciting because since it was the COVID year, they were playing out of the Prudential Center. So that was awesome, actually. I got to live at home, which is obviously very comfortable and, better than, whatever other living arrangements you have. But yeah, it was awesome, having my family here and, just being in a comfortable environment. And I had previously known a bunch of people in the organization. So it was a very seamless fit for me. And I felt like it was a very good year for my progression, my hockey career.
Awesome. You talk about now how you're a free agent in the AHL. Is there anything kind of that's persuading your mind to one team or the other? Like, how is the free agent process working out for you right now?
It's pretty hectic, honestly. I mean, there's nothing. I wouldn't say it's as much having options, but like when you're chatting with teams and chatting like with your agent, you kind of want to not figure out where you want to be precisely, but who wants you to be there more, because the more interest the team has, the more opportunity you can get.
Mhm.
In my opinion, so we're kind of looking carefully at what we want to do, and hopefully that decision comes soon. But yeah, it's just this kind of a long process because teams have to figure out what they want in their NHL, and then so guys are signing everywhere, and numbers are changing. So it's kind of just kind of see where the chips fall and go from there, kind of type of thing.
Gotcha. And moving on from that, you also play in the, I think I said it wrong in the intro, the Three Ice League. Is that how you
Yeah,
say it?
yeah, that's what it's
That
called.
how did that come to be? Do you enjoy it? Is it different? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm loving it so far. It's a very fun hockey league. It's brand new this year. It's a touring 3-on-3 league with 6 teams
Yeah.
with a complete modified rule set of hockey. So it's basically a different type of hockey that's just played in the summer. It's every Saturday for the whole summer, and it's on TV, so fans can watch anywhere on CBS Sports or TSN, RDS in Canada. But it's cool. It's a lot of fun. It's 3-on-3 hockey, and there's no whistles for the most part. Just the opening draw, the halftime draw, and like pucks are live off the netting. The goalie gets to play the puck out on when they cover it, and there's penalties or penalty shots, which are also very exciting. And it's just a whole different atmosphere in hockey and a different look. And I've been really enjoying, traveling to different cities and being with a group of guys that we have, and just playing some good summer hockey. And it's very competitive as well, which is fun. Keeps you in good shape for the season.
Awesome. How did that come to be? Did you see like you have to like see that they were holding tryouts and you thought, hey, maybe there's something that could help me develop or I want to be a part of this, or did they reach out to you? How'd you get your foot in the door there?
Yeah, so they reached out to me, and it was so they basically reached out to say, hey, would you like to be in our tryouts for this league? And then from the tryouts, there's six coaches that are picking their teams, and I couldn't go to the tryouts because my team was still in season because we were in playoffs. But fortunately, I got picked by Guy Carbonneau, who's a Hall of Famer, amazing hockey player. So he drafted me to his team, and that's just kind of how it all went down. You had to get invited to go to the tryouts and then get drafted from there.
Okay. Sounds like a blast. Like you said, people could watch it on CBS. Is there any like what's your favorite city that you've been to? I mean, how many games have you played so far?
So far we've been through 4 weekends. The four
And
cities.
yeah,
Sorry.
you travel to different cities. It's not
Yeah.
like a home team, away team. It's all neutral
No.
sites, correct?
Runs all neutral sites. So we've been at 4 cities so far. We've done Las Vegas, Denver, Grand Rapids, and Hershey, Pennsylvania have been the 4 so far. And this weekend we are going to London, Ontario, which is our next.
Which one's been your favorite?
So far I think the opening weekend in Vegas was super fun. It kind of felt like it was more of a home base. We had a big crowd there too, and it was all our first experiences in this league too, right? It's brand new, so I think that was the most memorable one so far. But we still have some exciting cities to go to, like Quebec City, Pittsburgh, Nashville. So excited for the rest of the summer in that regard.
And building off of that question, in all of your professional hockey journey, which destination has been your favorite so far? Favorite city, arena, which has been the best for you?
It's so tough. I mean, I would say best destination would have been Hungary, Budapest. Like it was such a cool city in Europe that not many people know too much about. And as far as living and being there, it was awesome. But as far as like a hockey experience, I mean, I would say playing in Allen, Texas was very fun. Or even Portland, Maine this year, we had great crowds, and we had a really fun year there as well, which is also another city that not many people go to up in Maine, but very, very nice.
Gotcha. Um, one of the not final questions, but one of the final questions. You're sponsored by Full Send Milk Boys, big brand that many people love. How did that come to be?
So I would say I'm sponsored by them, but they work with like the agency that I work with, and I was fortunate enough to receive like a full package of clothes and all these other things that came in a big box this year. So it was, pretty cool. I think they're a pretty cool company that I watch their podcasts all the time. So it's
Yeah,
nice to have a bunch of their stuff.
gotcha. And if you weren't playing goaltender, well, you said in the beginning that you weren't like screw this, I'm done with this, I'm going in goal. If you weren't playing hockey, where do you think you'd be right now?
Um, I don't know. I think hockey's taken me a long way. Like, I mean, if I wasn't actually playing hockey, I would want to be coaching or teaching. Run my own goalie camps, do little things like that around the Jersey area. I think. I mean, I personally like interacting with people, and helping out is, you know, to me is very important to grow the minor hockey community, and give everyone the chance to play and learn hockey and have fun with it too, right? So that's kind of something I think I would be doing.
And building off of that, what is your favorite part about being a big name in the hockey world, and what is the hardest part? How is it adjusting to the interviews, the autographs? Like, what is that like?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like I mean, it would be pretty hard, like sometimes like you would think it's a lot of pressure. But it's something you grow up and get used to. The interviews, people are gonna ask questions about my father or stuff with his hockey and whatnot. But so it's things you get used to. Like people probably think that like it comes with like that I'm always feeling under pressure, but I really don't. I mean, I've grown up with it my whole life. And I would say like the coolest part about it, was just growing up, going to all the Olympics and the Stanley Cups. And, like for me, like growing up as a kid, like it was normal going to the Olympics. Like, oh, where are we going for the Olympics this year? Or where are we going to the Stanley Cup? It's just so I mean, I'm very fortunate to grow up and go through all those experiences and, going to a lot of professional hockey games.
Gotcha. Do you remember the first autograph you ever signed? Does that stick with you?
No, actually, I don't. I mean, I could think of a time frame of when I first started doing autographs, and it was kind of when I went to juniors in Ontario, and I was just like, I didn't have a signature, I didn't know what to do, so I was trying to like make something up,
Yeah,
and I think I kind of was unprepared for the first time, and I just scribbled something, and I've just stuck with that ever since.
that's awesome. So you just got to scribble. That's your signature.
Just like a J squiggle, and then a B, and then I put whatever number I'm wearing for the team I'm at.
Gotcha. Um, that's it. I'm out of questions. I really appreciate you hopping on. This is Jeremy Brodeur, everyone. Go follow him on Instagram. He's a great guy. Thanks for helping me out, getting the interview going. Good luck in whatever future brings. Go Devils.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Have a
Thanks
good
for
one.
cheers.